I cried uncontrollably as a child
Yeah, a lot
watching
of
Brad
people
Bird's
that already
masterpiece,
had 20 years
The Iron
experience
Giant.
and like Brad Bird, he's already directing, and so I worked with him on the Iron Giant,
Yeah.
and I was a
And that's what
teenager.
made me buy the course because that's one of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
scene that you posted, it was one of my favorite scenes from the movie, and I was like, "Dang, just a full circle moment. Just never knew as a kid watching it. Then being like, okay, well, I didn't
yeah.
know that he animated that scene. So it was kind of like, I never seen.
Was that on my YouTube channel? Is that the
No,
one?
that was on your Instagram. That
Oh,
was
my
on.
Instagram. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, yeah,
So when I saw it, it just blew my mind. I was like, literally, when I was a kid looking at it, I said, well, that's kind of, it made it feel like it was a real person, even though I knew it wasn't a real person. He was expressing himself as a real person, so I could have an
yeah,
idea of who that person could be, even though I know
yeah,
he's a fictional character.
yeah.
But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. That's one of
That's,
the ones that
I was
motivated me
so
as well.
lucky to work on that. It
Yeah,
just
that's a
everything
great one.
just felt, and I like in the beginning, like I was just doing incidental characters in the background, and then Brad Bird liked my stuff, and so he said, "Well, let's give Jim a chance, and let's give him some more meaty work." And it made
Yeah,
me cry.
yeah. The first time I ever cried watching a freaking movie. That's why I can never freaking forget it in my life.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
uncontrollably too.
That is that is really no kidding.
Yeah, as a kid, that was the first time ever in my entire life I said, "Yo, this is absolutely crazy. Why is
Oh
my face
wow.
wet?"
Oh my
I
God.
literally asked myself that. I said, "Why are you crying, bro?" But as a kid, I realized now watching it over and over, I said, "It makes sense. It makes sense." I'm the first time I did. I literally because I have a younger brother, me and him shared everything. Probably partially because of our mom, but me and him shared everything. So I ran in the room. I said, "You got to watch this, bro. You have to watch this movie. Like, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life." So that's one of my key memories from watching that movie is crying and then running to my brother's room and then like, "Yeah, we gotta have to watch this one."
What was your age back then at that time? That's
Ooh.
1999 it came out,
Yeah, that was
so
99. So I was 7, but I watched it when it was like on HBO. So it had to been like a
yeah.
year or two after that. So it's like 2002. So I was like 12,
Oh,
maybe.
damn, dude.
I'm
Man.
talking about balling. I said, oh yeah, never again. And I made that was a promise I made to myself. I never cried a movie like that
Did you
ever
watch
again.
Bambi after that and cry?
Yeah, never made me feel like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I don't know what it was. It was just
yeah.
because I was emotionally invested into the movie, and that's
Yeah.
what
Well,
kicked
that's
off
the
the
thing. Brad is
animation.
a genius when he got you involved with all the characters. You really got, you wanted that giant to live. You wanted him to be continued friends with Hogarth, all that kind of stuff. And then so I better not say that. He
Yeah.
sacrifices his life. I don't want to spoil the story for anybody. Um, yeah, that's really, thank you for that share. That's really
Oh yeah, man. Thank you. Because
amazing.
like I said, it's a full circle. I never thought I would talk to the actual animator that was working on that film. I was whoever working that film. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you this story. Like you made me cry as a kid. Like, I never,
I
I
would,
never experienced that before in my life. Well, I
I would,
experienced it after Happy Tears, but I didn't really know what it was back then.
yeah. Oh wow. I would love for Brad to hear that. Yeah, I think it would be like because that was so heartfelt that the way you said that
Yeah.
was just amazing. Anyway, I forgot where I was gonna go.
I didn't mean to get you off
You
topic, but
just
I was
got me
like,
off
I gotta
track.
tell them this story because that movie. I hate every time I see the Iron Giant, I'm like, ah.